digging in me, you digging in me, you digging in, go ahead, man.
The show starts off with my goat, Simon the Digger, and his soul brother Kamina. Kamina wants to go to the surface because he went there when he was younger with his dad, but doing that is illegal, so he's in prison. Simon is let go, and he goes back to digging, where he finds a robot. He then breaks Kamina out so they can go investigate, but they're caught by their chief. But before he can punish them, a monster breaks into the village. A woman named Yoko also drops in, and these three start fighting the monster. Simon's a clutch, and he keeps the two safe, leading them back to the robot, which Kamina names Lagaan. Simon then pilots it, using it to beat the monster and reach the surface. The group is then jumped by more monsters, and they're called gunmen. And Simon loses control of his own gunmen, but is saved by Yoko's people. Yoko then takes them back to her own village, and the two get some rest. The gunmen then once again pull up, this time with their captain. Also, all these gunmen are piloted by beastmen, and they only come out during the day. Simon, realizing that the gunmen were the reason behind the tremors that killed his parents, and this makes him real angry. Simon then helps Kamina get into the enemy gunmen, and together the two destroy them, and names his Gurren, hence the title Gurren Lagann. Kamina also learns that his father was tragically killed on the surface. Yoko is worried about Kamina and takes him and Simon hunting. Here, Kamina runs into Commander Veal from the Human Eradication Service, and the two fight, with Veal reaching for his gunman. Kamina and Simon try fighting him, but they're completely outmatched, with Simon digging a tunnel allowing them to hide until Veal retreats due to the sun setting. Veal returns the next day, and he's cooking Kamina until Simon steps in, and the two combine, creating Gurren Lagann, forcing Veal to retreat. That night, Ron the mechanic, another goat of the show, finds the Beastman's headquarters, and him, Simon, Kamina, and Yoko leave the village to take the fight to them. As the group stops the train, they are rolled on by the black siblings, with Kamina getting all the attention. The women then go hunting, and end up bringing back a group of Beastmen that they then have to fight. Kamina and Simon, after some issues, combine, and they destroy the enemy. The black siblings then retreat, but they'll be back, don't worry. As they continue to travel, the group falls down into a village, and this village has no electricity or livestock, and they worship a gunman as their god. The village is unable to support more than a population of 50, and due to a woman giving birth to triplets, the head priest manipulates a stick so that these orphans will be exiled, as exiling them would cause less pain. Kamina, after hearing of their exile, starts mocking the village. Just as he's pissing them off, a gunman pulls up. Kamina and Simo start fighting him, but it's the priest and the gunman that they worship who takes him out. Rossiu, after getting an explanation from the priest, decides to accompany the orphans, and the three join our group. The group then reaches the area where the facility should be, but there's nothing there. Checking again, they notice that the facility is moving. As they think about what to do next, they're rolled on by gunmen. The team destroys them and follows one of them in an attempt to reach the facility. They lose the gunmen, but in the fog they find an old grandpa, and he takes them to a hot spring. Of course, there's a mandatory hot spring episode, but here they get to reunite with the black siblings and relax in a bathhouse, which is revealed to be a gunman, but our group is able to destroy it. Before they can take a breather, Veal rolls up on them and starts a fight. With a facility providing Veal with backup, Commoner refuses to give up, and with the power of battle spirit, breaks through the facility's firepower. Everyone else is jumped by gunmen, but are saved by Kikon from the black siblings, and him, alongside others, then join Kamina's fight against the facility. But Simon is a real clutch and buries the facility in rubble. Kamina and Simon, now with more allies, form Dai Gurren and are ready to battle against the Empire. That night, Kamina and Yoko kiss, much to Simon's grief. In the morning, Dai Gurren then heads to the battlefield and starts cooking the beastmen, with Simon attempting to merge with the facility, but due to Simon's mental state, he's unable to take over. Kamina then pulls up and knocks some sense into him. Just as he gets back to his gunmen, he's jumped by the commander and is severely injured. In his rage, Simon loses control and makes the facility go berserk, but Kamina once again talks him out of it, and after forming Gurren Lagann, they destroy their enemy, with Kamina passing away shortly after. Simon and Yoko, after Kamina's passing, are inconsolable. During a battle, Simon goes berserk, and Lagan feedbacks, forcing him to jump down a cliff, where he finds a box, and inside he finds a woman named Nia. A gunman then rolls up, but the two are saved by Yoko and Kikon. As Nia is meeting everyone in the Dai Gurren, they are attacked by another general, and she was chosen by the Spiral King to retrieve Daiganta. Before the fight can start, Nia orders Adine to stand down, and it works because she's the daughter of the Spiral King, making her the Spiral Princess. Adine then retreats and goes back to the king, and he's furious. She begs for another chance, and this time she heads out alone to destroy Dai Gurren. Dai Gurren tries to interrogate Nia, but due to her innocence, they're unable to get anywhere. Kikon orders Simon to get the information, but he just ends up telling Nia and Yoko about Kamina and his heroics. Nia gives Yoko and Simon a pep talk, which makes Yoko and Simon mad. Adine then rolls up, and Nia's talking to Jutsu doesn't work this time, but Dai Gurren keeps her safe. Just as they're about to kill Adine, Viral pulls up and retreats with her. We then see Simon
in an indescribable emptiness,
as he tried to help Nia, but was low-key useless useless without Lagaan. Simon then completely loses it and is now just making statues of Kamina. Meanwhile, Kikon gets a transmission from a group of women asking for their help, and because they're a bunch of hormonal men, they rush to save them. But it was a beastman trick by Guan the Immovable. Nia is captured and harassed by Guan, while everyone else is locked away underground. But Simon, my goat, alongside Lagan, are able to break everybody out and save Nia. Simon gains his fighting spirit back and destroys Guan. After this amazing performance, Simon is made the leader of Daiguren. Daiguren then reaches the ocean, and we get the mandatory beach episode, after which Daiguren transforms into his ship. And in the ocean, they're once again attacked by Adine. Most gunmen are useless, but Gurren Lagann is in most gunmen and goes in to fight Adine. Meanwhile, Adine's ship starts to drag Daiguren into the ocean. Seeing his friends like this, Simon powers up and uses his drills to break free from Adine and pushes Daiguren back to the surface. Adine then boards Daiguren and takes Nia hostage, but Yoko saves her, and Daiguren blows up Adine, killing her. Sometime after, they're attacked by the last remaining general, Sito Mandri the Swift. Gurren Lagann goes in to fight, and after merging with one of the ships, it gains the ability to fly. Viral then intercepts, but after finding out that Kamina is dead, he makes Simon his rival. Sito Mander takes Yoko hostage, giving Viral a chance to finish Simon off, but Viral refuses due to honor. At that moment, Daiguren destroys the flying ship, grabbing its core and allowing Simon to save Yoko. The enemy retreats, and Viral is brought before the Spiral King for basically not listening to Sito Mander. We then get a month time skip, and we see that our group has reached the capital called Teplin, and they are preparing their attack. Daiguren is now airborne, and it once again goes into battle against Sito Mander and Guan. Things look bad until other humans arrive as reinforcements, allowing our group to kill Sito Mander and his forces. Guan then retreats and creates a impenetrable energy shield, but Simon, my goat, clutches up and kills Guan and breaks the energy shield. Teplin is then revealed to be a massive gunman. Teplin's transformation destroys hundreds of ships, and we get to see how massive this gunman is. Simon goes in to fight the Spiral King alone, but is unable to do anything against a massive gunman. But Daiguren and Gurren Lagann's power combined breaks through, allowing Simon and Nia to confront the Spiral King. Viral tries fighting, but he gets destroyed. The Spiral King then gets in his own gunman, but Simon is able to overpower it. The Spiral King then gets out and starts beating Simon with his own hands, but Simon is able to kill him. The Spiral King then reveals that once humans retake the planet and reach a population of 1,000,000, a catastrophe will destroy the entire world. We then get a 7-year time skip, and we see that humans have taken over the surface, and Supreme Commander Simon and Ratio are trying to investigate the Spiral King's final prophecy. We also see that Simon and Nia got together, and Simon proposed, which she accepted, and that Ratio is looking a bad person, and he's forcing people to live on the surface, and Viral of all people is trying to free them. 2 original members of Daiguren then give birth to the millionth person, and Spiral King's prophecy comes true. A machine then appears and lays waste to the city until Simon pulls up and destroys it, but that also causes further destruction to the city. We then see that Nia has been taken over by the Anti-Spiral, and their goal is to exterminate the human race for reaching critical spiral power. Simon is flying all over the city looking for Neo, and eventually finds her near a river, still under the Anti-Spiral's control. She then tells him, as well as the rest of the human population, that the human extermination protocol is basically the moon crashing into Earth. Ratio also hears this from Lord Genome's biocomputer, and we learn that Lord Genome was once a spiral warrior who wanted to preserve humans from suffering the same fate, but the human spiral instinct made them reach for the surface and to the stars. We then see more robots attack the city, but Simon and the rest are able to take them down without causing too much destruction this time. But the population, after learning all this, starts to riot, even stoning Ratio, which was Loki deserved, after which Ratio arrests Simon so he can blame everything on him. As the citizens riot, they destroy Kamina's statue and call for Simon's execution, which Ratio agrees with and gives Simon the death penalty. Nia then pulls up to the courtroom and mocks the humans before sending a massive robot to destroy the city. Simon then begs to pilot Gurren Lagann, which Ratio agrees to only if the mecha is rigged with explosives, after which Ratio makes an announcement that all citizens will be evacuated, some underground, the rest aboard the Ark Gurren, with the citizens now basically calling him their lord and savior. We then switch over to Simon, and he destroys most of the robots, and after returning, he is sent away to prison until his death penalty is carried out. Simon is in the same prison as Viral, and these two obviously fight, leading to the guards locking them up. We then switch back to Ratio and Liron, and we learn that after the impact, every creature on the surface, no matter how deep they are, will die, and that Earth will be uninhabitable for at least a year. But Ratio doesn't care, and he's willing to sacrifice the humans underground for the sake of everyone else on Ark Gurren to survive. After the Ark Gurren's activation, more of these robots, which are called Mugen, attack, and the old team Daiguren get their gunmen back, giving them a fighting chance. Ratio makes the decision to send Ark Gurren to space 30 minutes earlier, but before they can depart, Keaton pulls up and gets Simon's core drill back, now planning to free him. Over at the prison, Nia reveals what will happen to the Earth to Simon and Viral, after which he's confronted by Yoko. Nia then leaves, and we get to see that in the time off, Yoko becomes a teacher on some random island, and when the island is attacked by some gunmen, she suits up and destroys them, after which she leaves the island to where she is now, and she frees Viral and Simon, and their plan is to basically blow up the moon. Also, we get to see the Gurren departing, and we see the amount of people left behind, and as it reaches space, it is ambushed. Just as things look bad, my goat Simon shows up as a beacon of hope. Gurren is putting in work, but things go bad once again, with Simon now in a corner. Simon, seeing no way out, merges with the Gurren, forming Gurren Lagaan, and he destroys all the Mugen. The moon then starts to crash towards Earth, with Gurren Lagaan not being enough to stop it. Lord Genome then mentions that the moon is also a ship, so Simon rushes in to merge with it. Just as Simon's about to merge with the moon, Nia pulls up, stopping Simon in his tracks. But Simon is able to break her out of her transfer bit and merge with the moon, saving the planet. Nia is then called back, but before she leaves, Simon promises to come get her, after which our group returns back to Earth. Our group is now planning a full frontal assault on the anti-spiral home, and Riddle joins in as an official member. But Rossi isn't there, as he went to his hometown to kill himself. But after an intervention by Simon and his girl, he's saved and he's staying on Earth to handle everything, while the rest of Team Gurren, using the ring that Simon gave Nia as a tracker, and Super Galaxy Gurren's ability to teleport, to attack the spiral homeworld. They successfully teleport and find a hologram of a confined Nia. The anti-spiral then sends its own weapons, with our group going in to intercept, but Simon is unable to pierce through the weapon. Simon then retreats so he can merge with Super Galaxy Gurren, but it's gonna take a bit, meaning the rest of the team has to protect him. After many sacrifices, Simon reaches the spiral energy needed to transform, but before that happens, the anti-spiral submerges the Super Galaxy Gurren. Our group tries all they can, but they cannot stop sinking, so they decide to head straight to the core and hope that they're able to destroy it. Going deeper requires a lot of spiral energy, leading to Simon overexerting himself and breaking Gurren Lagann, but Buta, my other goat, full of spiral energy, comes in clutch. The first missile to launch is unable to break through the pressure of the sea. It's a sea, but technically it's just like condensed space, if that makes sense. Keaton then gears up and he chooses to sacrifice himself, and he's successfully able to destroy the core. The sea then turns back into spiral energy, giving Simon enough energy to transform into Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann. The machines are no match for Simon's power, and he makes quick work of them. The anti-spiral then pulled up to the battlefield and puts everyone in a trance, where they experience their lives in different universes. Simon, in this trance, sees Kamina, and after a heart-to-heart, breaks out of the trance, ready to confront the anti-spiral. Simon saves Nia, transformed into Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. The anti-spiral fights a battle in his own gunmen, and our group is getting cooked, but Lord Genome sacrifices himself, giving Simon the spiral energy needed to fight back, and he's able to defeat the anti-spiral. In the aftermath, we see Simon and Nia get married, with her passing shortly after. We then get a time skip where we see that Rossio has become a good leader, and Yoko goes back to teaching. We see that Viral is now leading Super Galaxy Gurren, and before the time skip, we see Simon step away from leader, and in the future, he has opted to live the rest of his life as Simon the Digger.